You, Simona.
And when I feel burnt out, I'm like, wait a minute, everything is off kilter. Everybody got me effed up. Or, like, wait a minute, or is it me? And then I have to go to the waterfront and like rehash life.
You're
And like, what
right.
happened? What this? And also part of that, sometimes I also accept so many clients and I'm like, oh my goodness, why did I fill my calendar up from day to night? And then I have to sit back and let the water heal me. And then I say,
Welcome to the Mind Our Business podcast, where we dive into life's challenges and triumphs while exploring the world of entrepreneurship. Here, you'll get honest conversations, practical insights, and inspiring stories that will empower you to reign supreme in business and life. We're all about real talk, real business, and real life. So, our topic today is the importance of self-care and protecting our peace. So, yes, we're going to talk about why self-care it's not a luxury, but it's actually a business life strategy. So before we get into that, let's introduce ourselves so they'll know who's behind the mic.
Yes, I'm your girl, Tamika, your favorite certified recreation therapist, specializing in inclusion and adaptive recreation, always advocating for those with disabilities as well as our elder population.
it's your girl Simona. I'm a fashion stylist and a personal shopper, creating looks with you in mind.
And I'm Gigi Garcia, owner and director of Moves Dance Studios and Vibe Together.
Hey.
And I'm Carla Shahid, the realtor and certified real estate planner, where I help people build, protect, and transfer wealth through real estate. So we all know, because we're entrepreneurs here, how we can experience burnout and stress, right?
Oh my gosh.
We've all been there, right?
Oh yeah.
So what is your self-care routine as an entrepreneur? Like, what do you do? Like, what's your go-to? Do you have a go-to?
You have to have a go-to.
Well, on Fridays, I actually take time to after work and after my personal shopping, all my deeds, I stay home and I watch my YouTube, get caught up on, pay some bills and just turn my phone off and just take care. I don't even like to go out. I just like to chill
You don't
out.
like to go out?
Say
On
what?
Fridays.
You know what?
No, I go out all the time.
I can attest to that, because way back when, I'm going to say what, in 90, after high school, 99, Simona always talked about not wanting to go out on Fridays. And Fridays was my day. But she always was like, no, I'm going to stay home on Fridays. So I can attest to that. So
Well, good
she
job.
doesn't go out.
All right.
Okay,
All
good
right.
job. I heard that. Yeah. Well, my block day is Sunday. So
Oh.
Sunday is a complete me time. So it's just so important to really reflect on your week and what you have going on with the week ahead, and just be able to just sulk into the moment. Like, that's my me time, my self-care. Whatever I want to do, however I want to dress, whatever I want to eat, whatever I want to drink, I'm going to do it. I mean, even like going to the farmer's market or whatnot, you really want to separate your business mindset and your personal mindset into two different days, or whatever your block day is, or just utilizing that to put that energy into yourself.
So are you saying that you need at least one day to yourself? Is that what you're saying?
I would say, to be honest, as an entrepreneur, I've learned every day you need to block out some time every day.
That's smart.
For
Yeah.
yourself. I don't care if it's 30 minutes or an hour or 2 hours, but or even if you say, okay, these are my only times I'm going to work, from 8 to 8 or whatever, or that 7 to 10 is my me time.
That's
No
self-care.
work, no responding to emails, no taking business calls, none of that.
Yes.
That
Yes.
I think every day should be, some time should be invested into yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So no more
time
Sunday
management.
fun days for you.
No
more Sunday brunches.
I start off every morning and I read a chapter out of the Bible, and it kind of just gets me centered. A lot of times I don't get out the bed. The actual Bible's like sitting right there, like right next to me. And so I start off every morning that way, get my mind right.
Yep.
And then every week at some point, I try to exercise a few days, get that energy out, and then I make sure I just go to church on Sunday. That just brings it back around. And then monthly, hey, I go get a mani-pedi.
Okay.
and I get a full body massage.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you.
Good for you.
Good for you. You know, I hear that if you win the morning, you win the day. So I hear that. Yeah, that's just like in business. And oh
Okay.
my goodness, somebody over here.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, win the morning, win the day. And so what that means is like if you start your day off right with the routines that you could it sets you up for the rest of your day. So waking up for me, that's when I'm my best. I'm waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yes,
I'm doing
yes.
meditation. I'm
Mhm.
working out in some form, even if it's just stretching. And then I'm also learning something. Yeah, so that's what I do and journal. So that's like for me, when I'm on it, when I'm on my A game, that's what I'm doing. And it makes a difference.
It makes a
Like
big difference.
a complete difference.
I've
And
actually been
the
going to the
world is silent, so it helps you to
Yes.
just really listen to your thoughts and
Yes.
just be more in tune with what you have going on for the day. Because I'm the same way, Carla. I love my mornings because
so
that's when I
quiet.
make my mushroom coffee because I'm into that now.
Okay.
Mushroom
Go on, girl.
coffee.
I wanna
I'm
try it.
meditating. I'm listening to some music, some calming music. I do journal as well, and I also write my things to do that my tasks
Love that.
that I want to accomplish
Yes.
throughout the day. That's
Yes.
also important.
Yes.
And I do work out. I walk my dog. I come in and then boom, 9 o'clock, 9:30, or whatever time you want to start, it's go time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Hmm.
I'm back on my routine as well, going to the gym at 5 in the morning. I used to do
Okay,
that
girl.
all
Wow.
last year, and I'm
Yeah.
back doing it, and it feels
Mhm.
so good, and I just get it. Nothing can get in my way.
That's right.
That's my detox time. Life has been lifing lately, so let me tell you, that has been a good way to take care of myself, mind, body, and spirit.
Mhm.
Working on this whole thing right here. But I love it, and I have energy throughout the day.
Well, that's how you stop prevent from being burnt out.
Well,
It's
okay,
taking
so
care of
yes,
yourself.
but why do we fall off? Why don't we keep going? Why
Oh,
do we do
Sometimes
that?
you have one bad day where you miss it, and then you get frustrated, and you're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna do something else."
You just fall into a
I
rut.
even
You
opt
fall
out
into a rut,
on a
but
good day. If somebody says, "Let's go eat" or "Let's go shopping,"
it could be
I
anything.
can opt out for any
Mhm.
reason,
we
and I
just
don't.
can't
Yeah,
say no.
But I think,
Sometimes it's
sometimes I
not
can.
but
saying
I
no
think for
enough.
some people, and I'm that type of person,
Uh-huh.
if you have something up, you know how some people make vision boards or whatever.
Yeah.
If you have something that where you can see it every day as a reminder, sometimes it just gets you back to refocus the next day. You mess up one day, just go back to the next day and get it going.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you need that reminder. For me, I need that reminder sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's why I had a Bible right next to me.
Right. And they
Amen.
also talk about, if it's not on the calendar, then it doesn't exist.
There it is.
So if you have it on your calendar to work out or to do whatever it is,
Mhm.
to work, you're going to work from this time to this time. If
Mhm.
somebody calls you and say, hey, it's Taco Tuesday, let's go. But you're supposed to
Guilty.
be. I know. It's hard, but I guess that's where we have to hold ourselves accountable,
Mhm.
and then we should probably have accountability buddies too,
Yeah.
like that's going to hold us accountable. So, how do you know when you're feeling burned out? How do you
Mhm.
know? And what do you do when you're feeling burned
When you're
out?
not motivated anymore. That's the first sign for me.
Mm-hmm.
When I get to a point where I'm just like, you know what, I don't even feel like doing it. It don't even matter no more. I want to shut off.
Mm-hmm.
So your mind and your body aren't aligned. Like you can't even move and you can't even think.
Right.
So that's definitely a sign of you feeling like burnt out, exhausted, or just not motivated anymore.
Yeah.
And so what do we do to reverse that?
Yeah. What do you do?
Well, I recently went through a burnout. And what I did was I did a lot of self-reflecting. I completely isolated myself and just thought about the blessings of my business and like how much I have accomplished
Right.
and who I'm serving, my customers, my students, my families, the kids, and your why.
Yeah.
Like why
Right.
why is it that you started this business in the first place? And that kind of starts to spark more into your energy.
Right.
And you realizing like, okay, you know what? Nah, Gigi, you start talking to yourself. You start saying stuff like, Gigi, get your butt up.
Yeah.
It's time to go. These people need you. And you just start to feel more inspired again. So finding being re-inspired and re-motivated again is definitely key. So know what your why is and always reflect back on why you started the business.
So your why. What about you, Tamika?
So when I'm burnt out, I am kind of numb. I want to get my work done as soon as possible. I'm not going to put any extras on it, no bells and whistles. And that can really be hurtful for my contracts because you have to impress.
Yes.
And so I'm going to do just that bare minimum to get it done instead of going above and beyond and giving them that little oomph and that little extra that brings them back. Right. So burnout is very, very, very bad for my business.
Yeah, I would say the same for me too, because when I'm burned out, for me, I'm naturally like a upbeat. I have energy.
Yes.
When I'm burned out, people know I'm burned out.
They
like
can feel
I'm
your
just,
energy.
they feel, they feel it,
Feel that energy.
and I don't like it. I don't like how I come across, and I'm just, my body is tired, my mind is tired, everything is tired, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I don't like that feeling, but it happens. It happens. And when you're feeling burned out, that's stress. Like that's when stress can really come on and stuff like that. So, yeah.
So you see yourself being different towards people, or
Absolutely.
Towards your, yes.
Absolutely.
Same with me.
She will tell
everything
you.
irritates me.
I will. That's that girl. I can't deal with this right now.
I can't. I can't.
That
I'm a complete different person.
You are.
And I don't like it. I don't like it. What about you, Simona?
And when I feel burnt out, I'm like, wait a minute, everything is off kilter. Everybody got me effed up. Or, like, wait a minute, or is it me? Then I have to go to the waterfront and like rehash life.
You're
and like, what
right.
happened? What this? And also part of that, sometimes I also accept so many clients and I'm like, oh my goodness, why did I fill my calendar up from day to night? And then I have to sit back and let the water heal me. And then I say, okay, let's regroup. Let's move forward. Because I don't like when I get into a funk. People can tell too. Because I'm normally upbeat and jolly, and sometimes I'm just off. So the burnout is real.
You brought up something good. You brought up something that I thought was key is when you take on more than what you can chew in that moment. And it might not be just taking on more clients, but it's probably because you're burned out and you don't have the capacity to take it on. So what can we do to keep ourselves operating in our optimal selves? That's
delegating is definitely important. But sometimes, I'm gonna be honest, sometimes you don't have the financial capacity, like you said, or the money to pay for those services. So we tend to just take on as much as we can bear and do what we can. But when you do that, what happens is that you don't give, optimal results to our clients or to your whoever you're serving.
Right.
I mean, it's not gonna happen because you gotta delegate. So I would say delegate would be, something to think about.
Right.
So or just say no.
Yeah. And I'm blessed to have my mom as my assistant, my unpaid assistant.
But we're so money driven as an entrepreneur, especially when you're first starting. You're just money driven. You know what I mean? So you want to get paid. You want to, build your business. You want to get testimonies. You want to serve. You want to say yes because you want to serve and impress and give people what they want. So.
But I think it goes back to what you said about time blocking. When you're at work, you're at work. When you're not, you're not. Because you have to allow yourself time and grace. When you're off, that's when you're recharging, you're refueling, so that way you can serve your clients the way that you want to serve your clients.
And that's how it should be. But sometimes I am with people and they're we're partying and I'm still shopping for people and I'm looking and they're like, are you paying attention, girl? I have a friend like, get off your phone. I'm like, girl, I'm working. Or even with my boyfriend.
You're learning though. You're going to learn.
She multitasking. You multitask,
even with my boyfriend, he watching a movie. I'm like, let me just, take care of some things. So I'm not giving, my attention is always divided. I'm not really, so I do have to work on that. Setting some time because I will just watch TV and start.
That's
self-care. But I will load that schedule up.
Okay. So listen, let me ask you this. Have you found in your business where you have not taken care of yourself and it negatively impacted your business?
Yeah.
Simona.
It hasn't yet, but I've been blessed because I have some people that can help me. I have a girlfriend. I can say, hey, can you go pick up the shoe for me? Here's a picture. It's on hold. Or, my mom is my assistant and my shipper sometimes. And so I have been blessed. I have help.
So you've never been late in giving orders? You never been just like,
if it's been late, it's been out of my control, the ship and vendor, but I will burn myself out before I short them.
Got it. Yeah.
But that's not self-care.
It's not self-care.
It's not self-care.
And it's stressful, right? So the negative impact is just like stress.
Yes. But I'll go have me some wine. I'll go get something to eat. And okay, next time we move forward and live and learn from this experience.
We do have a vice. Like wine is one of mine. I ain't gonna lie. Well, everybody knows that. If you know me, you know I likes my wine.
I mean, I love wine too, but and it's time and place, right?
It's a time
It's
and
a
place
time
for
and
it, yeah.
place, right? So
Well, what
yeah,
help? I'm a planner.
yeah.
And so,
Yes, you are.
yes, I am a planner. So, and it doesn't bother me that other people don't plan, but it keeps me sane.
Yes.
And I don't like to be stressed, and I don't like to feel the anxiety.
Mhm.
So that's why I plan my month out,
Mhm.
and I will plan it day by day. And you did talk about day by day.
Yeah.
Right?
Because if I'm not giving my client what they need, then I will not get that return,
Right.
Correct.
and I will not get that referral.
Right.
So return, referral.
Equals money. Equals money.
Now that's
Income.
business.
Income.
And that's
Profit.
business. Profit. That's
Right.
Profit. There's a big difference.
So,
Yes.
yeah, and I would say, like, for me, Tamika, you are a planner and always have been
She's a planner,
you've always
yeah.
been a planner, right? For me, I'm not. I'm very spontaneous. However, I'm learning to be a planner. I'm learning to set a schedule. I'm taking a class right now on systems in real estate.
And I'm so proud of you.
Have you noticed the
I need
difference?
that class.
Yes.
Have you noticed the difference?
Yes.
Noticed the difference?
Yes.
I'm like,
on, yeah.
exactly. Because
Focus.
let me tell you, I am so,
But
yes.
how do you feel?
I feel so much better, and I'm not stressed because you know what? What they talk about, they talked about how high achievers, how they time block 15 minutes for each task, just 15 minutes. For us, it's 30 minutes. So when you really, like, at 7 o'clock, at 7 to 7:30, respond to emails. 7:30 to, I mean, it goes all the way on. By the time I'm at 12 o'clock, I'm like, well, what else do I
You've
have
gotten
to do?
so much
I love
accomplished.
it.
I've gotten so much
And now it gives you
accomplished.
time to do self-care and take time for yourself.
Absolutely. So when you
But
call
she used to
me,
laugh
I'm
at me.
sorry. When you call me in the morning, I can't answer. It's because I'm doing my systems in real estate.
And
So
I'm
I'm actually
I'm gonna call you back.
I'm very
like,
proud of you. But I want you to know you used to talk about me.
well, I'm not at the point where I'm
playing that far ahead of time.
a month in advance and stuff.
Yeah, Tamika,
But-
that scared me.
Yeah.
No, just
But
kidding.
you know what? It makes such a huge difference. But that's
I can
a
see that.
skill. That's a gift
It's
that
a
you have,
skill.
and not everybody has that.
But I didn't have it in the beginning.
You can work on that,
definitely was
yeah.
a procrastinator. How you say it?
You said it.
Oh, okay, there you go.
said it.
And my husband say I make up words all the time, but y'all know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yes, I used to be the last minute person all the time.
Yeah.
And so I had to learn, especially when it was time for my work. I was always at a higher position, even in my jobs. And so I had to have it like this, girl, because they're not going to fire me.
I know
And
that's
I'm going
right.
to get it done.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
Can't mess with my money.
Okay, so what boundaries have you set between work and personal life? And Gigi, I think you touched on that. But what have you done, Tamika? I'll ask you, right? What boundaries have you set between work and personal life to protect your mental health?
So for me, it's exactly what someone has said earlier. I
Right.
take a day off. So, I too shall rest. Okay.
I like that. I like that.
So,
You
I
go to church.
normally do Sundays because that's my church
too.
day. Go
Yeah.
out to eat, relax, and watch. I love movies. So I'm doing something that I enjoy and that's relaxing, and I try to put everything away.
Right.
So that's one of the ways that I preserve.
Yeah.
As well as I always make sure I give my kids and my husband some time every day.
Yes.
Because if you're not spilling into them,
Yes.
you're going to see the problems in the long run.
Right.
Right.
Of
And
course.
so I think that just kind of gives me that that sense of fulfillment
Yes.
and taking care of myself. That is part of self-care.
That's a part of
Yes.
self-care.
It is.
Now, if you can create a self-care starter kit for entrepreneurs, what would be your top 3 essentials? Simona, what would you put in your self-care
Well, I love-
starter kit?
Well, I think also going to sleep is part of self-care. So I
So would you
throw
do like a silk,
a blanket.
or your silk pajamas that you wear?
Right, you definitely need your pajamas. Like
Yes.
a pillow and a blanket. That's it. No, because I love to sleep. If y'all know,
Right.
know. As much
Right.
as I like to be out, which is
Mhm.
part of my self-care, but resting is also part of my self-care.
Mhm.
So definitely some pajamas.
Pajamas,
Yes, a pillow
pillow,
Pillow.
and a blanket.
and a blanket.
That's all you need
And a
to recharge, restart, and it's a new day.
okay. All right. And then Gigi, what are your 3?
I would get some type of massager, like the
Ooh.
shiatsu massager.
What
So
kind of
when you're
massager?
laying back like this,
Oh
it
yes.
hits that lumbar area right there.
Yes.
Let me tell you, that the multitasking, self-care multitasking.
Okay.
Get one of those, Get the boots that go over your legs.
That's 2.
Yeah,
that's
two.
2.
Okay.
And then you got one more.
And one more is some silk like pajamas and
Oh.
a bonnet.
Oh, so
Yeah.
Not the bonnet.
Okay.
Yeah, bonnet.
She's wearing those. Okay.
Mhm.
What about you, Tamika? What's gonna be your starter kit?
So if I had to give this advice, I would say number 1 is get yourself a planner. Even if I do the old-fashioned planner, I write it down. Some people do their phone. Whatever it takes, plan your month out. At the very least, plan your week out.
Okay.
And then every morning, plan your day out. And then get a planner.
Okay.
Plan your time out.
Yep.
And then the last one would be, I too shall rest. Make
So
sure, no matter how much work you have to do
Mm-hmm.
and how much work you have to get done, right? You definitely have to take some time to yourself. So take that one day off. I too shall rest.
And you're better for your clients
You're
then.
better
If
for
you
your
know,
clients.
you're rested.
You're refreshed and renewed.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right. For your kids as well. Because you don't want to be fussing at them all the time, because that's what happens.
That is what happens. So, okay, so my starter kit, I am going to have, you know what? I really like the Calm app. I don't know if you guys ever had that, but just it's mindful meditation. So I would say get a subscription to that. I also would say some bubbles for your bubble bath. And what else am I going to say, ladies?
Some
wine.
Some wine. Duh.
Definitely,
That's
those
default.
3 would be in my starter kit.
I do not recommend.
I do.
When I wake
highly
up, I'll get all
recommend.
that stuff.
Okay, so we're going to challenge our audience, and we're all a work in what is it called?
A work in progress.
Yes.
My husband says caution tape. I got caution tape around me.
Yes. Well, we are all striving to be the better versions of ourselves. We know what we should be doing, but we, fall off. But it's good to have reminders.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? We're going to give our audience a challenge, and I think we should take it too. So it's to create your self-care toolkit.
Okay.
So what that is. So step 1 is to identify. So take 5 minutes to identify the non-negotiables of self-care practices that will help you feel grounded and energized. So to just identify what that is. So just take 5 minutes. Step 2 is to schedule it. There's that planner.
Planning.
Choose one of those practices and commit to doing it every day this week, even if it's just 5 to 10 minutes. Step 3 is to reflect. So at the end of the week, reflect on how you feel. Did this practice impact your mood or productivity? And then share your experience in the comments using, you ready for this hashtag? Hashtag self-care wins.
There you go.
So we're going to do that.
Self-care wins.
So self-care isn't selfish. And I think, a
Not at
lot of
all.
times people I've heard that, like you're being selfish or what have you, but it isn't. It's a strategy. It's strategic. The more you pour into yourself, the more you have to give to your business and life.
Absolutely.
So, y'all agree?
Absolutely.
1,000%.
So,
And people will like you more.
Well, your energy comes off different
Right.
at your
That's
best.
the truth.
yeah, you looked at me. I was like, oh.
No, because because it always comes to thought that time when you told me, you were not yourself. You were not yourself.
I said, your personality changed. Yeah, your personality
Right, and
changed.
sometimes you don't realize But you
it.
have to have that real friend that tells you, hey, girl, you need to take some time to yourself and do something.
That is true.
It's true.
It's true. What are friends for?
What about your friends?
All right, you guys, before we go, we want to give a shout out to Percy Robinson, the man behind the camera that helps us out. We could not have done this without Percy.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Thank
And until the next episode, stay true to yourself and remember, let's
Mind our business.